So it's interesting. Today I was following a little bit up on Elvis Presley, and I remember when I just turned 77 years old on March 2, so I was born in 1940. So when I was 10, 11 years old, I went to hear Elvis at 6 Seattle Stadium, which was a baseball stadium on Rainier Avenue and down in Seattle in the Rainier district. And he had this it was an outdoor show, and he had this gold Cadillac that he rode in on, and the Colonel was with him, and it was really cool. And there was a good crowd there. I wasn't paying attention to that part necessarily, but it was kind of really neat. And then today, his wife, the widow, she, right across from Graceland, she's opening a 200,000 square foot place acknowledging him, which really sounds like it's going to be cool there in Tennessee. And so it's fun. And then, of course, Warhol picked up on it. You know, a lot of people still get a kick out of Elvis. But I get a kick out of the whole thing of you know, the festival that was put on where you brought the poster today, and it's really neat that a lot of the bands that played the festival, and that was in 1969. They're in Woodinville, Washington, and of course I personally got started in 1962, 1963. I was probably 23, 24, 25 years old versus 10 or 11, you know, listening to Elvis. But I had the good fortune of taking in the Monterey Pop Festival, where Jimi Hendrix lit his guitar on fire, and of course Jimmy was from Seattle and Garfield, and I was aware of a lot of different things that when Jimmy was just starting his career, and then later on got to know his father Al, and used to hang out and drink with Al and out actually in the Rainier district, the same kind of place where we're early in the game. And of course and then I wound up doing some military activity in Monterey and Fort Ord, and then Jimi Hendrix was also involved with their doing his military with the Army there, and so we were kind of cross paths at times, and it was really kind of neat. But the Monterey Pop thing was really something, and that was Lou Adler put that on, and then Bill Graham was involved, and I was lucky because Bill Graham was kind of my mentor, and so I met a lot of people because of the Fillmore West and the sound checks that were going on. And then Owsley was just starting to get his LSD going, and kind of before Timothy Leary type thing in a way, but Timothy was riding right along the coattails. But so I got a good sense of kind of what was going on with the whole summer of love and the kind of the drug culture that was starting to happen in its own way, and kind of in a way, kind of in a peaceful way, not in some tragic way. Like this day and age today, where, all of a sudden the opioid epidemic is quite serious across the U.S. and throughout Mexico and throughout the world. And but I really felt good about Janis Joplin, and felt real good about the Doors and about Santana, and then the bands from England, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, and a lot of other English bands, whether it be Joe Cocker or Jethro Tull or the Moody Blues. So I'm really kind of looking forward to the music that's happening today. There's a lot of really decent music happening today, and I pay a lot of attention to Canada because of Seattle. We're right next door to Canada, as far as Vancouver, BC. But I have friends in Toronto and friends in Edmonton and Calgary and other places. But there's a lot of really good music, new music coming out of Canada. And there's a lot of good music coming out of San Francisco and out of Oakland and out of Los Angeles and obviously Nashville and Austin, Texas, and so I salute the whole millennial crowd, the new people. And then I have a friend, Glenn Cogshell, who I met a handful of years ago, where I met him with in Seattle, and he was involved with Leon Hendrix and some folks that knew Leon, and then of course Leon was the brother of Jimi Hendrix, and then there was some other folks that were involved with after Jimmy died. There were and Al died, then the sister was involved with the estate, and then there was Bob Hendricks, and really some cool people were involved with keeping the whole Jimi Hendrix thing to a certain level where they felt good about what they were doing. Paul Allan, the partner of Bill Gates and Microsoft in the early days, they kind of went their separate ways, but Paul really had an appreciation for Jimi Hendrix and wanted to put a museum together. So I gave my paraphernalia and various things I have to the Paul Allan organization. They still have those in a vault, and I'm kind of known as the psychedelic part of that music scene that went on because of Jefferson Airplane with White Rabbit and many other songs that were kind of in the psychedelic realm, even whether it was the Byrds or whoever. There were so many wonderful creative music people, even Leonard Cohen, who was in the early days of the Jefferson Airplane, and certain people out of New York that were very much part of the music scene. And then a lot of people like David Bowie, and then also after that pop festival, there was what was called the US Festival, which took place outside of Los Angeles, and I think it was at a place called Apple Valley. And Steve Jobs and Stephen Wozniak were involved with putting that together, and Bill Graham was helping with the bands and stuff, and that was an outdoor huge event called the US Festival, and David Bowie played that, and I got to, because of knowing David and spending time in England, was when I was dealing with a lot of the other bands, whether it was Moody Blues or Joe Cocker or Genesis, it was really kind of cool to see David up there in his world that he created. And a lot of these people are extremely independent. I mean, not that people aren't independent today. In fact, there's a real desire today to be independent, to be that kind of artist. And that's why my friend Glenn, who's putting a Moses musical together, it's all independent. But he's been working on this for good 10 years and developing it, and is now going to move on to where it becomes a production. And so it's interesting to see his progress and what he's been doing, and then how his music has developed in an independent world. And so he really represents himself and represents obviously what he believes in, and it's going to be, a lot of people Jesus Christ Superstar and Godspell And then, of course, what Pink Floyd has done and then other folks that have put musicals together as far as for off-Broadway or in London for their off-Broadway type world. And then where they went on and got shows on Broadway. And Moses will end up playing some smaller venues initially, and more in the realm of 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, and in a sense that's kind of what some of the off-Broadway theaters are, and then the off-Broadway theaters are also quite unique, and so it's a kind of show that's going to have kind of a wide range audience. It's not just a limited kind of situation, and there's going to be some new female artists. He has a friend, Veronica, who he's going to be bringing from Naples, Italy, and she's going to have a part in the musical, and then he's going to be bringing in a lot of other people that possibly one hasn't heard of them necessarily. So there's kind of something new and now going on with what I'm saying. And then we have the wonderful conference that takes place in Austin in mid-March. It's about a 10-12 day event, and there's 3 days for film and 3 days for music and 3 days for technology, and the whole world of technology with the streaming and the World Wide Web, and where everybody in the world now has their own smartphone, and numerous other technology devices that they're using on a daily basis. So the streaming is just really something. So Moses will be streamed throughout the world, and with the new technology. And then we're very fortunate in Seattle. There's a lot of new technology startup companies, and a lot of people are very dedicated to music and want to see it be produced in a new way. And so there's room for a lot of new art design, new clothing design, new products, whatever they may be, that are stylish, that fit into the world of entertainment. And entertainment, there's just an awful lot going on now, as far as the Grammy Awards just happened, and they were really really special in their own way. And then the whole world of hip hop and what has happened there, how it's exploded into this big scene, and then the electronic music, how it has exploded into a big scene. And there's a lot of people that are very much involved. And so I salute them. I salute the folks that are up there, and they're working hard. A lot of people are working hard and to be independent. And so I'm feeling good about things.
That's good.
As my body returns to sand, I reflect upon what I am. Through these words you will understand the great I am. From this mountain I'll make my stand, though I can see the promised land. But for me this is where I am. My bones are Sing unto your heart a new song. Sing unto your heart a new song. Sing unto your soul a new song. Sing unto your heart a new song. Praise the King, He is the Lord, a new song.
again.